Well, so this old Yard Machines is about had it, but it's still got compression. The blade is surprisingly in decent shape, and the recoil still works. It may be worth fixing for this video. Let's see. First order of business is to hopefully see if both of these wheels will fit, because this is how I picked it up from the curb. I think these are the only wheels that I have. That's good, that one works. And just for this one, these other two are on the way out, but like I said, I don't think I have any other wheels that are this size. So unfortunately, those are gonna have to do for now. Let's tip this thing over and I'll show you guys the widow problem. Yeah, we're gonna deal with that. That problem's solved. Hate those things. So since we're already down here, we're just gonna pull the blade. We're gonna deal with all this crap too. The blade adapter is definitely seized on, so that's not coming off. Shaft is good. This blade has pretty much had it. I don't think I have another one though in this size, but I'll definitely check. So unfortunately, I don't have another one of these blades, but I did sharpen this one up. For the record, this blade is dead. I'm only putting it back on just for this video, but I will end up buying a better blade for it. And I am gonna keep this mower as a personal mower to use at my house. I'm not gonna get rid of this one, at least not anytime soon. Now I am a little interested. This thing, I might want to call its bluff, see if it'll run or not. These are the most reliable engines that Briggs ever made. And I think that, I think we might be all right. Maybe not. The inside of the tank doesn't look too bad, but I could put some fuel in there and see where we go with it. Might be able to get this thing going again. Filter needs to be replaced. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull this thing off. And we'll have to deal with the linkages up top. Get this to the workbench. I guess if it pans out, this is a halfway decent mower and everything. All right, let's see how crusty this gasket is. Yeah, she's crusty. I'm gonna get the air hose and blow all this off. All right, so that's sufficient. This inside of this gas tank, there's no rust in it, thankfully, but it does have some dirt and debris in it. So what I'm gonna do is is just get some rubbing alcohol, see if this will work to loosen it up. Looks like it is. Get enough in here, swish it around some. All right, so that's clean sufficient. This is the new gasket, 495770. You can barely see it anymore. And get rid of this one. There should be it. Yeah, when they get all screwed up like that, this is supposed to be able to flex very easily. It's supposed to be really soft. This one, it's not the worst I've seen, but yeah, it's not going to work as intended. So, filter looks really good. These you rarely ever have to change unless they're deteriorated. Same with these springs. If there's any rust on the spring, you can change it, but this one looks really good. I'm going to pull all the screws out of this thing and go and blow this off as well to get all this dirt off of it. And its keeper. This, and remember, the soft part of the gasket goes down first. Then the paper part. And with that in place, you just slide that back on. All the holes are lined up. Last part of this video, or last part of the tank anyways, we're going to pull out this primer bulb, replace it with a good one. This thing's probably going to break. Not the worst one I've ever gotten out of a machine, but this one's pretty bad. They normally don't fight me this much. Blow that out with the air hose. So with these, you just grab a new primer, line it up with these indents as best as possible. The 11/16 is a perfect fit. That one clicked, and that one's about to. Perfect. So it's generally all that ever goes wrong with these. Get this thing back to the machine. All right, so I blew off all of the debris that was here. Ain't perfect. There's probably still a mouse nest under this thing. I'm not worried about it. These old Briggs, as long as you don't see a rod sticking out of the side of the block, they're probably going to run just fine, and they'll be happy to do it. Let's grab our gas tank. This guy here goes back onto that hole here. Just like that. Now we have this spacer and this big bolt. There we go. Deal with this, even though this thing's useless. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to disconnect that. We don't need it. I'll put this thing on just because. This mower's a 1998, by the way. Yeah, there's like no oil in this thing. So maybe they dumped it out before they put it to the curb. That's what they're supposed to do, but majority of the time people don't do that. Oil of the day is some old Castrol GTX 10W40. I have no idea how old this stuff is, but for a lawnmower with a basic splash lube system, you could probably run castor oil in this thing and it'll be fine. Don't quote me on that. Yep, right up to the full mark. That's perfect. So let's throw some gas in this thing and see if we can get it to start. I haven't even checked the spark plug, but I'm sure that's fine. All right. It's about these. With the air filter off, you can see if your primer's working. There it is. All right, let's see if this old girl will start up. Blade brake's a little worn, I can kind of hear it, but other than that, it doesn't even smoke. Sure says a lot for these old machines. It really does. Let's see if I can find some grass I haven't already cut and we can try it out. Well, I have a better filter. I just put it in. I oiled it up properly, but it needs to be replaced. It's just marginally better than the other one was, but for our purposes, this thing's a beater mower. I'm not worried about running it just to test it out for a bit. It'll be fine. But that is something that even though this mower is a piece of junk, I would buy a decent brand new filter for it. I'm also going to replace the pull cord too, but we'll save that for the better half of this video. machine runs better than some of the newer Briggs that I've worked on. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I could say I'm definitely happy with how this thing turned out. I'm gonna get some more parts for it, make it look a little bit better, and probably keep it around for a bit. I'm gonna have to figure out what model it is so I make sure I buy the right wheels and whatnot, but other than that, I'm happy with it. Stay tuned for more videos.